It is time for football as we welcome you to another edition of with Greg Olson, Mike Tirico up here in the booth. So glad that you are along with us. Greg got a couple offenses here that love to take their shots down the field, so the defenses really have their task right in front of them if they want to win this game.
Yeah, no question. I think as many of the matchups that we've dove into this entire week, it really comes down to which defense puts a lid on the opposing passing game and prevents as many big plays as possible. We see it week in and week out. The correlation between generating big plays, especially through the air, directly leads to the ability to score points. So make teams go the long way. You know, the defensive old saying is make them snap it again.
All right, just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go. And the kicking team right there, stopping him before he can get to the 15-yard line. This crowd ready in anticipation, their offense taking the field for the first time. They are led out by a man who's done this now for a long time, their veteran quarterback.
There wasn't really anything fancy about their performance in last week's win, Mike. I mean, he had the one interception. He would clearly like to have that one back. But for the most part, I thought he did a nice job keeping the ball out of harm's way. However, it's clear after reviewing the film, he left a lot of opportunities out there. I think there was a lot of meat left on that bone. The 2 touchdown passes, those were great. But if he's going to continue to lead his team to more wins in the future, he has to do a better job identifying those mismatches, finding those opportunities, and when they present themselves, he's got to take it.
Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable third down, getting some good yardage on that second down play. He'll look to throw. Open man, left side, he's got it. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
On 1st and 10, they'll set up to throw.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
And he'll be near the first down marker. Let's call it a gain of 3, but a short yardage situation coming up on third down. Back to throw. Well, they track him down, and the ball is out. Well, the ball comes out, and the scramble for it, it ends up becoming a turnover, and the offense walks off the field disappointed with that fumble.
Mike, when you look at a stat sheet at the end of the game and you want to determine which team wins and which team loses, at the top of the list is ball security. Which team does a better job protecting it, and which team does a better job taking it away.
Ready to get to work on offense for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
It's fair to say this season hasn't gotten off to the type of start they likely envisioned for themselves, but it's still early. A win here, it could go a long way towards changing the trajectory of this entire season. But what's going to make this even more difficult today, not only the worthy opponent that they face, but having to go on the road and do it here in a hostile environment. If he is able to lead his team to a win today, I think that gives them the spark to turn this season around.
Here's 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside the 20. They get 21 on that one. It's good for a down. In the red zone now, he'll drop to throw. And that one is incomplete. Penalty flag down, back in the backfield, in the area of holding. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Our throw here, right side, falls incomplete.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's going to be taken down, but there is a flag on the field. You wonder if that was a push-off. He'll drop to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. Third and long. Now they'll set up to throw. They'll look to set up the screen here. And they were hoping for a little more on that one. Brought down well short of the first. It'll bring up fourth down. Turn things over to the field goal unit. This one is good. He knocks it through. Out to an early 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
Ready now for their second drive. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. He'll dodge one would-be tackler and wind up getting a nice gain of 6 on the play. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Tight end motioning left. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll be brought down past the 30. That is good enough to move the chains. 1st down.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Well, they weren't going to get him the 2nd time with the same back. Defense all over that one. They stop him for no gain. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. They're going to motion the tight end over here. Now this time they'll look to throw. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. Is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. The punt team out there. Returnable from the 17. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll check this down to the running back. And a big strike for good yardage there all the way up to midfield.
We talk so much about starting fast and then trying to sustain that throughout the course of the game. That's exactly what they're doing here. They've got the early lead, but they're not content to just sit on the ball. They're looking to extend it. Nice start here to this drive. Once they cross midfield, then it goes into go mode. You're trying to come away with points every single time you have the ball. It's a good way to start this game here in the first quarter.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
A quick throw right side. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down. Man in motion is Smith. On third down, they'll set up to throw. He'll throw it left and has his running back. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively, and now decision time. What are you going to do on fourth down? On now is the punt team, as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. Getting set to get back to work. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. His drive will start on the ground, and he'll find some space, taking it for 6 out to the 26-yard line. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. They'll send a tight end in motion. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Along the sideline, a nice catch. The feet in. It's a short gain, but it'll move the chains. A first down. They'll run. He'll try the left side now. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From out of the gun, he'll throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap. This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. It's about ready to take over once more. They'll look to build on their 3-0 lead as this drive starts with a 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. He's able to get away from one man, but those reinforcements, they got there quick. Take him down behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Man in motion is Smith. The pressure gets there, and he goes down. A sack that should be the final play of this first quarter. So just a lone field goal in the first quarter of play. To the early advantage. And returns after this. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. And that is...
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams... So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
Ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll start with great field position up at their 45. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. Not much happening there, just a short gain. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he'll get this across midfield as he's brought down, following a pickup of 5. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
Here's the punter now, as he is on to kick it away. The Panthers offense headed back to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Now, faking the give, taking a shot downfield for Smith. And he's going to take this one all the way. 80 yards. It's a touchdown. Well, that is a quick drive and the best way to finish it. The touchdown pass downfield. Greg, you rarely see a deep shot like that to start a drive.
You're right, Mike. We don't see it a lot, but I wish we did. It's actually the most efficient and safest down to pass the ball. And in this case, the defense is thinking run, got a lot of defenders up in the box, and they're able to strike deep with a pass play for 6.
The PAT, up and good. To a 10-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he will only be able to muster the 20-yard line on that return. Makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. And nothing doing from the offense just yet. Down 10-0 as they come up with 1st and 10. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain.
And he'll be taken down up around the 32-yard line.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that can all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
Not much there, maybe a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. He'll go underneath here, the running back out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 13 yards. That's enough for a 1st down. Now a handoff, running right. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Looking to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to run it. Whoa, 20-yard pickup there. And that will be a first down.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a give on the ground, and he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. Trying to pick this one up on the ground. They're going to bring him down at the 21, but they're also going to move the chains after that run. First down picked up on the ground.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
Throw to the right flat. It is caught, and no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. He'll tuck it and take off.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Looking for Campbell. He's got it. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
He'll look to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. 2 incomplete passes now lead to this 3rd down and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Good blocking, and he's in. Touchdown. It's his 4th touchdown on the year. So on 3rd and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one deep in the landing zone. He'll return it from the 2. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll turn and hand this one off. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. They'll stick with him again. Up the sideline to the 40. And he'll wind up out of bounds past the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21. It's good for a down.
It's definitely nice to have one of those bruising, punishing backs to kind of help wear down the defense. And I'll tell you what, you can give me a flat-out electric runner like this guy any day.
In trouble, and down he goes.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we'll see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Quick throw here is complete. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on third down. Thrown left side, the catch is made, and he's going to be taken down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in this first half. On comes the punter now, as he's on here to punt this one away. They will get away from that one, and they're going to have tremendous field position. This ball hits and goes out of bounds. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. Looking middle there, but it's incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws.
And that pressure too great. He's going to be sacked in the end zone, and that is a safety. So first, the decision to throw down here backed up near your own goal line, and the defense gets to the quarterback, sacking him, Greg, in the end zone for a safety.
Mike, anytime you're willing to call a pass backed up this deep in your side of the field, you have to trust that your quarterback is going to have the clock in his head to get the ball out of his hand. In this case, he holds on to it too long. The defense is able to get to him in the end zone, and it results in the safety.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Very short kick, taken past the 20. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. There's offense ready to get back to work. It was their defense doing the part. Now they'll get the offense an opportunity to put up some points. This drive starts 1st and 10. A dive and a catch. Incredible. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, this one is complete. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Back to throw. Drop it to his running back. And he'll get about 8 on that one. Most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down. Will take their first timeout as the clock stops with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The line now on 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw yet again. So they're going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Here's a run, a dive, and he's in. Touchdown. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. This one will be taken in the end zone. No run back forthcoming. And the ball coming out to the 30-yard line. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's just so hard to get anything going when you're just not confident running your own system, and all these early sacks. Yes, they kill drives, but think what it does to the quarterback. The quarterback just can't be confident operating out of the pocket. There's no rhythm, there's no timing, and everything you planned
into space. And they won't catch him. He'll go all the way. 83 yards for the touchdown.
Mike, I'm not sure how else to put it other than this is just a complete defensive breakdown. I mean, from where this ball was snapped, you simply have to just defend the end zone, and if they throw it short, come up and rally tackle. If they throw it in the end zone, high point the ball and knock it down. You cannot give up 6 points to end this half.
The kick here is good. Add one more point, and that takes us to the end of the first half.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top. Coming up. A couple yards deep. He'll bring it out of the end zone. Doesn't even get to the 15. Offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll motion over Flowers. Here's a run to begin this third quarter. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now they'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up. Hunting time. Set to kick this one away, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. That'll be returnable from the 35. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And as we look at the highlights, you see it's been tough to stop him here today. Couple of touchdowns in this ball game. He has, without a doubt, been the driving force in this offense so far. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be over.
And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
And the big guys up front in the offensive line just continue to not be on the same page. And we've seen it time and time again here today. This pass rush remains one step ahead of them, and it's the quarterback who...
A throw left side, going to be intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think anytime you find yourself trailing in the second half, Mike, all offensive play callers fight the urge to chase those points. They tend to get a little bit over-eager. They tend to push the envelope sometimes a little too far. Those turnovers, they only make the deficit grow, not shrink. Now, there's a lot of football left, Mike. They can still get back into this. They just have to be a little bit smarter about which risks you're willing to take.
Now a run on first down. He's going to force his way for a yard or two, but looks like this one's going to be coming back. Short pass taken in by the tight end. Here's a 2nd and 12. He'll try the right side this time, and it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down, forthcoming. Throwing now from the gun. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. We're about ready now for the punt, as he's on for the 5th time this afternoon. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has had all sorts of trouble in this one. Your quarterback has to take care of the ball, and he has not. Turning it over in the air, turning it over as a fumbler. You just cannot win football games in this league when the quarterback's giving the defense the ball, and that's what he's done in this one. 1st and 10. They motion the slot man left. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. Now a give up the middle, and will mark him down up beyond the 30.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Pass pulled in by Carter. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. 2nd down and 8. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Taken at the 19. And some nifty running on the return. Picked up some good yardage before he was taken down. The visitors' offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. The lead is 5 as they're going to start with this 1st down. Right away, they'll set up to throw. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
This offense came into this drive hoping to extend their narrow lead, Mike, but instead, after first down, they find themselves in second and forever following that big sack right out of the gate.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now they'll run. It's a counter. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in. That might make this a 1st down. Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think at some point for this quarterback, he has to start looking some other directions. I mean, he's tried to get the ball now to this guy multiple times, and all of them have resulted in incomplete passes. I'm not saying don't throw it to him in the future, but maybe get yourself a couple easy completions elsewhere before you look back in his direction. And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
The home team's offense and their running back set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. They'll try to run with their fullback. Trying to use that big body to get the yardage, but he is stopped for no gain. On 2nd and 10, they'll try to throw. He'll check this down to the running back. A big play there on 2nd down, but we do have a flag on the field. And that's in an area where usually this play gets erased. Back to the ground after the penalty. And he's fighting to get free. A lot of work there for a gain of 3. 3rd and long. Quickly, he gets it out to his right. Searching for some kind of seed to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. They'll start with great field position right at midfield with a 1st down. Here's a run going left, and he'll get back to midfield, so no gain on that one.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
From the 50, he'll set up to throw. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And It wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
A handoff as they try to run it here. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up third down. The one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
The quarterback just has no chance to escape when the offensive line gets beat that fast. When the defensive line can get in the backfield before the quarterback even hits his back foot of his drop, he's got no choice but to just eat the sack and live to play another play.
We're about ready now for the punt. Ready to see what they can do. The deficit is 5, so they'll try to put a drive together here, and they'll begin it with 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion right. They'll begin here on the ground. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. He'll look over the middle and find his running back. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down. They'll motion a tight end right. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase in what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the 4th quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
He'll take this in back at the 16. And that's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense ready to take over once again. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Got a man coming across the field. He's got it. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
They'll run it on the inside handoff. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. It'll be a pickup of 10. It's good for a down.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock, but the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the fourth quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that third down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up first downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
A quick throw right side. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down. Now a shot here, deep middle. And that is incomplete.
And this game almost just flipped completely on his head. You find yourself with a lead, just trying to milk the clock away in the fourth quarter, and that's a gift. And that defender just flat out drops the ball, and if he's able to secure that takeaway, this game looks very different for this offense. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
This going to be returned from right around the goal line. And he is stopped at the 25, and the drive will begin there. Getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
He is met and dropped. Good defense. Loss of a couple on that play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
He'll go right and find his running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line.
It's not a coincidence, Mike, that the best offenses are all excellent at yards after the catch. It's a combination of a few things: a highly accurate quarterback and the ability of the scheme to get open players in open space. Once you do that, the rest is up to them.
Here's 1st and 10. From out of the gun, he'll throw. That is brought in at the 10. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
They'll try it again from the 2. 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again. Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete. 2 plays at their disposal, but they'd love to get it right here on 3rd and goal. And he's so close to breaking the plane, but the official's going to come in and mark him short. So now it's 4th down. Blitz coming, he'll throw it. And that's not going to work. The defense comes up with a 4th down, 4th quarter stand, and forces a turnover on downs.
And this is a tricky call for this coach. A field goal doesn't do you a lot of good, but a touchdown does. So I don't hate the call, but great job by this defense coming up with a stand and getting the ball back.
It's ready to get back at it. They'll have a long field ahead of them as they start 1st and 10. Drive will start on the ground. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Now off the bootleg. He'll look to throw here. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground. The defense all over that. Met him in the backfield, stopped in his tracks, and it sets up 4th down.
This is one of those down and distances where the offense really could either run or pass, but give credit to the defense. They sold out to stop the run, and boy, were they right. They take them down for a loss.
This will be returned from the other side of midfield. Oh, looked like he may have hit a seam for a moment, but he's taken down after a solid return. Starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. They'll run. This is their fullback getting the carry. They'll try to use that size to push forward, but it's not going to work. Defense strong up front, and they're going to get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
This has been a masterful game plan defensively. I mean, not only have they found their mismatches and been able to exploit them, it's led to 7 sacks so far. I mean, even when the offense seems to make an adjustment, Mike, the defense just still seems to be one step ahead of them.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. Looking for room out on the edge. He's not going to find it. As a matter of fact, I think they tracked him down behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by the defense, and it's 4th down. Punt team out. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. That's taken at about the 14, and he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Ready for this next possession. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. 1st down and 10. Not much room to operate there. He'll get only to about the 24. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. To pick up 3 yards, and that leads to 3rd down. Back to throw. Open man, right side. He's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down. It is a gain of 6. Good conversion on 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. Oh, the blitz overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes. Now give on the ground, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
You know at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on third down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
On third down, we'll try to get it on the ground. They try the same thing and a similar result. Back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Here comes fourth down. Punt team out, ready to send this one away. As they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Ready to take over possession of the football. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
Just didn't quite get enough into that ball. You see sometimes the pressure, the rush, force a quarterback to throw the ball off his back foot, and I think there was a little bit of that here at play. You have to be willing to...
And that would be the dagger. It's intercepted. And possession here at their own 47-yard line.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
Back onto the field for their next possession. They'll begin with terrific starting field position. It gets going with 1st and 10. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down. So this one a win for the visiting. And it was their defense that led the way as they pitched a shutout in the 2nd half. No points allowed, and they cruised to victory. So do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. So long, everybody.